Namaste, all of you. Welcome to the Programming Quran with Python. In the introductory session, we have talked about how the programming skills we can develop using Python. And for developing the programming skill, we have talked about multiple points which we have to go with so that easily I can write the code. So today we are going to look at the first code with Python, and to write that code, what are the logical steps we have to take. So let's start the journey of programming Quran. Today's example, we will talk about exchanging the values of two variables. So basically it is a very basic problem where two variables are there, their values are defined there, and we need to exchange their values. So what are the problem statements we can talk about? So the problem statement talks about given the two variables x and y. This is the just temporary name I am giving to them. You can have anything a, b, c, d or anything. Okay. So given the two variables x and y with the values 26 and 50 in them, saying x got 26 value and y got 50 value respectively. Write a simple Python code because our focus is totally using Python. What Python code? To exchange the values between x and y. So basically we want to exchange the values between x and y. The starting statement looks very simple, and the thing which comes in the mind to write with the program is also simple. But there is a catch. We will see soon. So the start and end requirement for any problem may be a small one, may be a big one. You have to be fixed it first. So for our case, consider the variable x and y, assign the values as given below. So what we said, we have a x which has the value 26. This is the before condition I am talking about. This is the y which has the value 50. And what is the after solution? That is, once our program complete, what should be the solution? The solution should be the swapping, the exchange. So what is that? X should have the 50 value and Y should have the 26 value. So once we look at this statement, what comes into the mind? It is pretty easy. We can have this x with the y values and have y with the x values, and that is the pretty simple thing comes into our mind. So let's code the same thing and let us see if it works or not. So for that I am going to use programming through a website where I will put this code, I will explain it and I will execute it. Okay, so the website which I am going to use for this purpose is Python Tutor. That is a very good website which provides the visualization of this execution. So let's visualize what kind of code I have written and how it will happen. So the code I have written is the same. What I have done, I have made x and y with the values which we specified as 26 and 50, and on this I am just printing using the print statement that before I start my execution of logic, the value of x is 26, the value of y is 50, and you can see that x and y. Once you can see this, you can see the simple logic we can say is, let's put the y value into x and let's put the x value into y, and it is pretty simple. Then we can just print it saying what is the value of x and y, and we can see the output directly. Now let us see what problem it creates. It looks simple that yes, we are just swapping the values, but what actually happens? So let's run this using visualize execution. So this is the code you can see here which you can visualize. I will just increase the font a little bit so it is more visible. So now you can see how our code is going to execute. At the same time, line by line the code will execute, and at the same time you will see the output here. So let us see how the code goes and how the output comes. So I will just press the next button, and in compiler of Python or any programming language, we run line by line code always. So if I go to next, I have one variable now defined with the value 26. So yes, we have the assignment of 26, and again next y is equal to 50. So what basically we have started with the problem statement, which has to be started with any two variable having some value. So we have 26, 50 in that. I have used the print statement, just the simple print. Do remember what we are developing here is the programming logic, not the coding standards or not the, I can say, the Python syntax. Okay, I will suggest you just see some tutorials or something where you can get the idea what Python is. What our main focus of programming Quran is how to develop programming logic. Maybe you are from any background, maybe you are from engineering, maybe you are from arts, maybe you are from commerce. Okay, so this is the two lines I have said. So when I say print, it prints the before. Once I have the print next, it prints x and y values. So that is the start point. So before I have this position. Now as per our logic, when I say x should have the value of y, if I execute this line, do have a focus here. Once I run this line, what happens is y value which was 50 now jumps into x, and yes, the first part we have to be the value of x should change to value of y is achieved. Yes, we have done that, but yes, the second thing is we forgot to keep the value of y with us. So if I run this line now, do remember the x value is 50 which we have changed. So if I run this line again, obviously y also remains the 50. So we have achieved a half part only. We haven't achieved the complete. So that means we got the value of y into x, but we missed the value of x. We didn't remember that. And hence, if I print this again after and when I print x and y, I have the output 50-50, which shows that we have achieved a 1 point, making this value of 50 to come into x, but not the value of x, 26 comes here. So what is the catch? What is the problem we are facing? Is that we are missing the old value of x and how to solve that. So again, going back to our PPT, what is the problem and how to solve that? So what we have done up till now, and we have achieved half success, you can say. So we have done with our current proposal is new value of y was put inside the new value of x. Okay, so that was done and we got the answer. So but what we should have as per the current scenario, which we can look at, I am writing in some separate format saying the new value of x, which should have what value? It should have the old value of y, and new value of y should have the old value of x. So by writing it seems to be yes, that is the point we want. But we have seen using these two variables I achieved the same, saying x is equal to y is equal to x, but I got the wrong answer. So to have the correct answer, we have to introduce a new variable. Do remember in programming you can have a free hand to use any kind of variable, any number of times variable. But do remember, do not use lot of variables. It will create the confusion. It will unnecessarily increase the memory size in your compilation. So do not have lot of variables. Hey, yes, use it when it is required. So for this case, which we are talking about, a temporary variable should come into the picture. So to solve this problem, we need to find a way to not destroying the old value of x, which we have seen from the coding. So when we make the following assignment, x is equal to y. So a way to do this is to introduce a temporary variable t. Again, that t is just the variable name. You can have a, b, c, d, anything. It is not mandatory. And copy the original value of x, which is there, into this temporary variable t. So that is the thing we have to do. We have to copy the value of x into y, and that is the main thing we will have, and we will achieve our result. So while doing that, what our algorithms actually becomes, we save the original value of x into t, we assign the x the original value of y, that is supposed to be done and we have done previously, but we assign the y the original value of x, which comes into what? In t, which is in t. Okay, so let's see this program from the execution point. So let us go back again to the same thing which we are doing, and this program I will edit with my new program. Okay, I have made the program already, so it will be easy to understand. Only the explanation part will be required. So I am just replacing this code with my new code. So as you can see, what happens in this new code, the same thing, same thing. The new thing comes here where I have a new variable t. The second thing to remember in Python, there is no requirement to declare this tree. Okay, if you go with some programming like C, Java, you have to declare that variable first. It will be of what data type, integer, string, or character, and then you have to utilize. But since Python is dynamically typed language, you don't have to declare it. You just use it and you can utilize the variable, and that is a very good thing about Python. And that's why our whole programming Quran is based on Python. So the thing what we have done, we have kept in t the actual value of x. We will see through the execution also, but just I am explaining. Once we have that, then the line of x is equal to y is repeated, which was there in our previous case, where x is equal to y, the y value will go into the x variable. Now at this time, when y value goes into the x, what should y have? The old value of x, and that is kept in t because x got changed here. We will see in actual programming also when it runs. And now the t value, which was supposed to be an old value of x, will get automatically into y. And yes, we have achieved the result with x and y. Let's see through visualization. So let me run it again. We have the first two steps as we have said. So I will just go for the next and next. So that was the position where we have x is equal to 26, y is equal to 50. So we have achieved that both the variables have values 26 and 50. And once we print them using the print statement, we have 26 and 50. Now comes the value or the temporary variable t into picture, and you will see what things it will do. So when I have this line t is equal to x, x has the 26 value, and when I run this line, now t has the 26 value also. And that is the point where we have saved the old value of x, because x is 26, which is going to be old because we are going to replace it with value of y, that is 50. So if I click next, I have x is equal to y, x is still 26, not changed, but now this 50 will jump into 26. So if I click next, yes, now x has the 50. Now you will look at the x and y values. These are the 50-50 which we also achieved in the previous program. But the problem was we lost the value 26. But where in this case, when I have the temporary variable, I am capturing that 26 here. And that I am transferring to y back. So y will not remain 50. And if I click next, y got the 26 value. T is a temporary which will not cost you anything. Okay, it will just remain, and when the program execution completes, it will be gone. But we are going to be on the same line for this line. Okay, so we will press the next, and once you press the next and after clause, you will see the values got changed here. So how the values got changed? The value of x will be the one which we don't require, that is the 50 which comes into the x, and in y we have the 26. So we have achieved what we have thought of in the start, exchanging the values of x and y. And how we achieve that? Using the variable t, a temporary variable which is required. So that t temporary variable has captured the old value of y, and in return it has given that old value to y. So that is the simplest exchange program you can do using the Python with the simple logic of introducing a new variable t. So let's go back to the PPT. Why we have taken this example? Okay, why the things are there? So what are the notes on this design? What should you remember on this design which we have developed? The use of intermediate temporary variable allows the exchange of two variables to proceed correctly. That is the first thing. At any stage of computation, so whatever the computation we are talking about, at any stage, a variable always assumes the value dictated by most recent assignment made to that variable, and that is important to remember. So whatever the assignment goes just the below or the previous line will be captured in that variable. It is not a very old value or whatever it was there. No, what is the current scenario, that value will be captured. Working step by step with example can be useful way to detect a design fault. So with example means rather than just thinking broadly saying what x and y I can change, I just put the values 26, 15 there and I started the work. So I got the faults also, and within the time I was able to remove the fault. And that is the main thing you should remember. Always use some values and then try to change it. More common application of exchange involves two array elements, and that also an advanced thing where I can exchange the array elements which will be required for sorting and other purpose. And you should also think on how we can proceed with that. So that can be one of the example you can try. Another example you just try, like let's say we have three variables a, b, c, and we have to change it. So a should have the value of b should have the value of c, and c should have the value of a. So how I can circulate that? That can be a problem. You just try it out, you will have the answer for that. So there are various applications of this exchange mechanism. So the exchange mechanism as a programming tool is most useful implemented as a procedure that accept two variables and return their exchange values. Okay, so most of the time what we do, or as a programmer, as in industry, what happens, there will be a simple procedure to swap the values, and you pass the values in that, and once you pass the values you get the related output. So that is the way the swapping mechanism is done. Useful mechanism in sorting algorithm. The same mechanism which we have seen can be used in sorting. There are various sorting methods: bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort. Many of them may utilize this swapping procedure because values has to be swapped to the having the all the things in sorted manner. So that is the way how we can exchange the variables within a simple addition of temporary variable. Okay, so once we add a temporary variable for the a and b or x and y, we have the success. So that was the today's program, which was very simple to start with. Do have the one by one, step by step understanding of that, and surely we will have more examples one by one. So thanks for joining this session. Make sure you join our YouTube channel, subscribe there, and you will have lot of new things in the future. Thank you and namaste.